Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, welcome back. And I want to talk about the chassis. And in group two of this book, we're going to be talking about the front suspension. Before we get into that, I want you guys to see all the different section titles that the chassis has to offer for our cars. So everything you see right there is going to cover everything that has to deal with the chassis. It's very interesting, it's very informative. I think you guys would truly like it, and I hope if you guys are doing something like this, you can watch these videos and know yourself what the book has to say. And I think it's gonna be really cool. I think it's gonna be really awesome. So, so our first section, we're gonna be talking about the front suspension and what the front suspension has to offer with removable installation. As you can see, it has the upper and lower arms, upper and lower ball joints, all that good stuff. And it's going to get into everything. It's going to get into a lot of stuff. It's going to show you how to remove it. It's going to show you how to torque it down, the correct foot pounds of torque, and all that. So as you can see, it goes into more. Now this is our front suspension. Every number you see right here that has to deal with each part, the next page is going to show you what's the name of that part and how many how many nuts and washers are required and all that good stuff. But I want you guys to see. I know it's kind of blurry. I hope it's not too blurry. Now I'm going to be flipping back and forth on this page because everything here, all these numbers, like I said, they all have a location and name to them. And it's right here. So let's say, for instance, we'll just go with number 6, item number 6. It gives you the part number for that. I'm not sure if that's valid in any kind of stores or anything, but it says it's a bolt. There's 4 required. Let's go to number 6. There's 1. So there's 4 required for number 6. I don't see any other number 6s. Let's look for something else. Number 19, item number 19. It gives a part number for that. It's the nut. 2 required. So we come back on this page. We could look for number 19. Ah, there it is. And that attaches to 1 and 2. Let's find out what 1 and 2 is. Number 1 and number 2, it's a front stabilizer bar and a stabilizer bar link. So number 19 goes with number 1 and number 2. Right there. So it gives you great detail of where everything's at and what you're working on. So if you're gonna change out your sway bar link, you're gonna know that there's 2 bolts required for that. Very interesting. And then it goes on to say wheel, hub, and bearing removal and installation. So if you need to remove a wheel hub or a bearing, here's the process for it. So that's how you remove it. Now it's going to get into the installation. And it's just a basic thing, but you're just in reverse. That's all you're doing. And then when you go to put the nut on, it even tells you how many foot-pounds of torque it needs to be. 189 to 254 foot-pounds of torque. And it also says install a new front axle wheel hub retainer. You take off the older one, put a new one on. It doesn't matter if it looks good. Do what the book says, you know. That's how they did it at the dealerships. That's what the factory says. And then install a new hubcap grease seal. Install the disc brake and front disc brake caliper. Install the wheel and tire assembly. And that's it. Lower the vehicle. And that's all you got to do to remove and install a wheel hub bearing. That's what the book says. I didn't write it. And let's say you need to remove your wheel studs. The book calls for a special tool, service tools, a C-frame or a C-clamp assembly. Here's the removal process for the wheel studs. That right here is what this is saying. Use a C-clamp and clamp assembly. Press the wheel stud out of the wheel hub and bearing flange, which is what this description is implying to. And the installation for that is the reverse process. Position the wheel stud. Install the wheel stud. Install 4 washers onto the wheel stud. Install the lug nut. Tighten the lug nut until the wheel stud seats fully onto the wheel hub and bearing flange. That's what that means. What I just read, that's what this description is right here. Number 2 is implying install the lug nut once you installed the 4 washers. Then it goes on to say remove the lug nut and washers once you got the wheel stud fully seated. Then it says install the brake disc and front disc brake caliper, install the tire assembly, lower the vehicle. So there you have it, guys. Very simple, very informative on how to remove the wheel studs, how to remove the wheel hub bearing. It's very informative. Even gives a description of everything that is required as far as bolts and nuts. That all has to do with the front suspension. These are not just numbers or pictures, these are actual diagrams of everything that is required. Until the next video, guys, I hope you enjoy. I hope this helps you out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys.